Why do we keep handing our power away? From priests in churches to influencers on YouTube to gurus and retreats. Different face, same trap. Let's talk about escaping the guru complex. Hey guys, it's John sitting here in my new studio that's coming to life around me. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm sitting here with a glass of water because I've already finished my coffee. And understand that I'm living in a coffee bar. And you probably can't see it because of the blurriness, but it says love is brewing. When you study spirituality, you'll discover very quickly that there are many truths that can be extrapolated from the teachings. When you look at those teachings from the love goggles, put your love goggles on and read the loving parts, you're going to find they all say the same thing. Put the fear goggles on, they're all going to say something different. But when you do put the loving goggles on, there is something else that happens. You start to realize that they all talk about your power within you, that the kingdom comes from you, that Allah provides, that you are the pinpoint, and God, Allah, consciousness, yada yada, whatever you want to call it, is literally providing what you're choosing to create. It is something that is found in almost every spiritual tradition in the world. But the problem is, when you put the fear goggles on, you suddenly realize that you need a priest or a bishop or a mullah or a guru or a new age ideologist or whatever. You start to realize that you have this. You're outsourcing your authority to someone else. You're putting a middleman between you and God. And the kingdom of heaven is within you, is what was said. Right in the middle of you is the power of all things. New Age spirituality often has, channelers and healers and influencers, and people would consider me an influencer, but I'm not trying to influence you. What I'm trying to do is just show you that you have the ability to choose. They will tell you that they have the answers, follow me. I'm telling you that you have the answers, follow you. Live into your divinity. Accept the fact that you are whole and complete, and in this moment, you are the expression of God living in this earth. Everything you're looking at is just an energy event in motion. And so what you're experiencing with your eyes is the result of your belief. People silencing their own inner voice in favor of another gurus are literally changing the illusion around them to meet what the guru says it has to be. We've had atrocities that happened in this country because people have chosen a truth that's being told to them, and so they act horribly out of those sort of experiences. How does this guru complex show up? Students fearing to disagree with the teacher will subjugate themselves to the idea of it. So when someone puts themselves in the position of a teacher, they are telling you that you must believe these truths that they've chosen. And in reality, truth is subjective. My mom said spirituality is a personal journey. The Bible says, in my Father's house there are many mansions. Your truth is your own, right? And the idea of putting this authority in someone else, they're going to set up a system of devotion, and that devotion is tied to money always. The Catholic Church, they may take the collection, but I literally have watched a priest ask someone where their envelope was this week because he hadn't seen it. Be it new age or old, they're both telling you you're not advanced until you take the next level, until you get your first communion and your confession, and you're bringing children in the world with original sin, and they're telling you it's the next level. And then when they get to the end, they're saying, "Hey, now give us all your money so that you can go to the next level." The last rites in the Catholic Church. Another thing that keeps you in this guru complex is the fear of leaving. If you walk away, you're going to lose your spiritual progress. You're going to go back to the beginning. You're going to have to start over again. And the gurus will tell you that, you've lost your way. So let's get back to the beginning and start again. They'll put you in that process over and over again. But in reality, the guru is not God. The guru is someone who is telling you what they believe, what they think you should do. And leaders will create dependency rather than freedom. And freedom is where your authentic self lives. Freedom is where you get to not care what anybody else thinks about your path. Freedom is where you find the people who will love you for you. Because when you are authentically yourself, living your own truth, the people who are in alignment with that fall in beside you. But talking about falling in, we all fall into the desire for certainty. We all fall into it feels that we need an easier way for someone else. We all fall into the idea of someone else knows that I don't. If someone else gives you a piece of information, it's your discernment that decides whether it's your truth. It's your discernment that says, I am taking this on as one of my beliefs. But beliefs can be changed. You can say, oh, I'm taking this on my belief, and you try it out. It doesn't feel good. That's because that truth was not for you. And it sometimes feels easier when you're just falling in behind somebody else because you're no longer thinking about what feels true for you. You're giving up your freedom for somebody else's truth. We want to belong in these groups. You want to have gurus that provide a family like bonds. When you look at the membership groups and all that stuff, they'll tell you it's because you have to come in and become enfolded into my family, right? I have a membership group on my YouTube channel. I was very clear in the beginning. You're going to get uh, early access to videos and a monthly Zoom meeting with the group, right? $5 a month, right? So that's not about me making a lot of money. It's about giving people the opportunity to find their own group and their own belief. And that's one of the most beautiful things about the membership group is we don't have to believe what the other believes. The common truth is love. I don't care what you believe. I only care that you love. Matthew says, the book of Matthew says, you will know them by their fruit. Well, if you're a beautiful, loving Muslim, you're a beautiful, loving Muslim. I think you found your way to God. If you're a beautiful, loving Christian, I think you found your way to your God. If you're a beautiful, loving person who comes out of the law of one, I think you found your way to God.
And now, a quick word from our sponsor Coffee Time with John. This channel runs off coffee, so get your coffee and tea at johnsjoe.com.
I don't care what route you took. I only care that you love. That's all that I care about. And when we project our own inner wisdom into an outer figure, we're losing the idea of being that love and finding that thing that feels right or true to us. It feels safer to trust someone else rather than risking trusting yourself because you've been told your whole life you're not complete. You're not whole. So you shouldn't trust yourself. You've been literally told not to trust yourself. And the New Age gurus are saying the same things. Don't trust yourself. Yeshua said the kingdom of heaven is within you. You have to find your way. And there's a cost when you give away your power. You lose that discernment. You stop trusting your own instincts, your own beliefs, your own ideologies. That moment when you exhale and oh, that's true. That moment gets lost because now you measure that moment against somebody else's choices, somebody else's beliefs about your life. And it's emotional manipulation. Fear and shame are used to keep your loyalty. They're telling you, oh, you're sorry, you're weak, you're small, and this is come to me and we'll do this. Another thing is you'll go into spiritual stagnation. Instead of growing, you'll just stay dependent upon that person. You'll just stay in their tribe. And I often talk about spirituality being like a train hub, right? There's all these different trains that go off in all these different directions, and each train is on a track, and that track will only let you see what's out the window of that track. So, in other words, you only see what they're showing you can see. But when you step back and you exhale and you raise up and you look down, you realize there's lots of tracks and that they're all existing on a sphere and they're going around and they're meeting back at the bottom again because it's all one. And these individual tracks are choices we take. And if we follow those tracks, we will not see the broader awareness that God is too big and too beautiful to be encompassed by any one school of thought, religion, or New Age ideology. We start to stagnate because we're not open to the rest. And the irony is that a path is meant to be free. The path is meant to let you explore. The path is formed as you place your foot. It's formed behind you as you place your foot. You're placing your foot, and it will be as rocky or as smooth as you choose it to be. But your choice is the important part of this. No true teacher will ever demand your obedience. They'll never tell you that you have to meditate every day. They'll never tell you that you have to live into their own ideologies. If they're telling you a history, especially ones that are proven to be false, That's because they're choosing to make that their belief. And when they don't allow anyone to speak about their own truth, then they are limiting you to the track that they've built. They'll never demand a true teacher will never demand your obedience. Real wisdom always points you back to your inner knowing, to your inner divinity, to the power within you. Real wisdom makes you exhale because you feel free. You're free. A teacher may inspire, but inspiration is not control. Inspiration is not control. They may show you their path. They may show you their way, but in reality, it always comes back to you choosing your path, taking that next step by choice. Freedom feels like expansion, not dependency. You're not dependent on someone telling you where to put that foot. You're not dependent on that. You get to choose. And when you're in a group and you feel the hierarchies and the cliques and all the things, I can't tell you how many spiritual centers I've spoken at, which had inner turmoil like crazy because they had cliques of hierarchy, people putting themselves in power over others. None of those things are important. Everyone's equal. When you expand in your knowledge that you are equal to everyone. I have talked to some of the most gifted psychic people in the world. The majority of them are neurotic. The majority of them are can't like I knew two women who were extremely gifted at one point. One of them has lost a lot of that, but um, you couldn't put them in a room together because they were in competition for who was better, right? Some of the new age centers that I've spoken at, they had this upper hierarchy that you literally could see them look down the nose at the other people in the room because we're in the elite, right? That's not spirituality. That's hierarchy. That's control. And you don't need a master. You don't need anything. Simply be aware that you are powerful. And the most powerful voice you can follow is already within you. The power is yours. It's yours in the here and now. And the moment you trust that voice, the guru's spell breaks. The priest's sermon goes away because you start to realize exactly what Joshua said. Take heart, I've overcome the world. Doesn't mean you come to him. It means, hey, look what I've done. You can do this too. Gurus don't free you. They keep you orbiting around them. The gravity of their experience and their doctrines and their dogmas is what's keeping you orbiting until you decide to break free of the gravitational force. The truth is, the only guide you'll ever need is already within you. And you can escape the guru complex by reclaiming what is yours all the time and has been all along: your personal divinity, your personal authority, your personal truth. And that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.